What is up, YouTube? It's Diehard here, and in a few moments you're about to see something on your screen that's going to outline what this is about. So my talking points this video, I apologize now, it's going to be a kind of long video, but I've got 4 subjects I would like to touch on. The first being the FFW return to YouTube, which I'll get to that in a few moments. Announcement, which some of you may or may not already know about. The Livewire Podcast, as well as everything to do with the future of the channel, and it also ties into the announcement and some other stuff as well. So just sit tight. I have these separated on markers on the videos with the links and all that stuff you guys would need for specific things, so you can watch this again and get that announcement at a later time. Alright, so let's get this underway. First things up, the FFW return. So this has been quite the topic of discussion, especially within the private chat for FFW. Speaking of the private chat, there's also a public Skype chat, which that actually has to do with the 4th subject, the future, so we'll get to that a little bit later. But the subject, the FFW return. Why have I waited so long to do it? Well, the date is set, ladies and gentlemen. Tuesday, January 5th of 2016 will be the relaunch or the 2K16 debut of FFW. And you're probably going, well, why are you waiting so long? You announced FFW back in November, the High Voltage World Tour. So you may be going, well, why so long? Well, it's like this, guys. It's not just Genesis, it's FFW Genesis and FFW Strike Zone. So it's going to be 2 shows through the week. On Tuesday it'll be Genesis, Wednesday will be the podcast, and then Thursday will be Strike Zone, So it's going to be quite a bit of stuff, pumping out throughout the week. We have everything done for the month of January, even the Breakdown Rumble, which I'll say this ahead of time now. There's a lot of twists and turns in there, and I think it all came through I think it came through very well, and it got put together very well. And this is some of the cleanest editing I've ever done, guys. I mean, I've had the help of an amazing graphics guy, which I'll get to that in the announcement. But yeah, so I've had some help with that from that person with doing some of the graphic stuff. But all the editing has been me thus far. And, that is what it is. But January 5th, 2016, FFW returns on a weekly basis. I'm going to actually start, it's Christmas Day right now, but you guys are seeing this on the 26th, so, alright. I guess that kind of puts what's there for the return. January 5th, 2016, FFW Genesis. Thursday, January 7th, 2016 will be FFW Strike Zone. So moving on, it is now time for bullet point number 2, the announcement. Alright, so are you guys ready for this? The announcement is this. The announcement is the following. For some of you, you already know, especially the FFW guys have been clamoring it up. But when the next gen systems first came out, I had initially bought a PS4 and an Xbox One, and I was not feeling the PS4 at all, so I sold it. I was like, you know what, not liking it, whatever, and there was people on it that I didn't like. We're gonna fast forward a couple years or a year and a half or whatever, and I came in contact with some folks. I was invited to join a show, and I was like, well, I don't have a PS4. And they were like, well, not yet, LOL. And fast forward, I think 2 weeks after that, I had a PS4 again. I went out and bought one. And so anyways, things kind of hit the rocks there. That's not really something, I don't need to talk about that because it wasn't me directly or anything like that. But, so for those of you that don't know, I have a show on the PS4. Because we all know that I get very heavy-handed in the WWE game stuff. I always am. At some juncture, I knew I would be on both consoles. I just didn't think it would be this early in the life cycle. So currently, I have my Xbox show, and I have a PS4 show. And the name of the PS4 show is Pro Wrestling Alliance, or PWA. As some of you may or may not have seen tweets from X2 Twisted, he's on the show as well. It's technically mine and his. I told him, I was like, well, hey, I got the ability to make a show. I'm all right at it, I'd assume. I've been doing it for a while, so I think I'm all right at it. But yeah, so it's got a YouTube channel. I'll put that link down in the video description. It doesn't have like the personal customized link yet because it doesn't have enough subscribers or anything like that. We've got a Twitter. I'll put that down there. And even further delving into this announcement here, people have been wondering, like I've received messages on Twitter in the direct messages. I've received messages on Skype as well, what the frequency of the show is going to be. I would like to make PWA as frequent as FFW. There's only one problem with that. FFW has 2 shows a week. PWA currently only has 1. If I can squeeze out 1 show a week out of PWA, that will be great. So if you guys haven't subscribed to YouTube and stuff, that will be what you want to do. And you guys will know when that show is going to debut. You will start seeing countdown videos. There will be 10 countdown videos. On the 11th day, PWA will make its full show debut. And if I don't say so myself, I know I said this on the FFW return part, but this is some of the cleanest editing I've done ever with the WWE stuff. I've never done such clean editing. And it looks so clean, so crisp. And a big shout out to X2 Twisted for supplying the graphics, the layout, the stamina and health gauge cover-ups, the breakout cover-ups, giving me a replay screen and all kinds of stuff, guys. Twisted has been very, very helpful in this, and I'm very, very appreciative. Just like I'm very, very appreciative to the people that watch the shows, whether you like the show, don't like the show, you think I'm relevant or don't think I'm relevant, it doesn't matter, because this is literally some of the best editing I have ever done, guys, and I am proud as hell to say that I'm working on this. So I hope you guys enjoy it when it comes out. Like I said, you will know because you will start seeing countdown videos coming out. So from countdown 10 to countdown 1, we're actually going to do the countdown the right way. You don't do a countdown counting up. You do a countdown counting down. So it's going to start at 10. By the time it gets to number 1, or number 1 reveal, well then the following day, PWA will be released. So that is when you will know that show is going to debut. And I'll be tweeting it on my Twitter, on PWA Twitter, probably on the FFW Twitter. We'll delve into that, into the future subject, or the future talking point. But yeah, so that is the announcement. PWA, Pro Wrestling Alliance, on the PS4. Okay? It's a little, we're doing a different process when it comes to writing, so it's not exactly like it is in FFW. It's different, and it's a whole new learning curve right now for me, because it's like I gotta write these storylines from the beginning. It's fun. It's a fun change of pace, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. So, anyways, I think that's it. I think that's it for the announcements. I guess moving on to the next subject. The Livewire Podcast. Oh, how I love the podcast. And I'm bringing it back, guys. The Livewire Podcast. If you heard the first part here at the FFW return, it'll be January 6th, which is a Wednesday. I haven't fully decided yet on the start time. I'm thinking I might do 7 o'clock Eastern. That would be 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, I think, and over in the UK or GMT time zone, that would be midnight, I believe, midnight, maybe 1 o'clock, something like. I think it's midnight. I'm pretty sure the UK is 5 hours ahead. So yeah, the podcast is going to return. We're gonna do. I want to do this podcast all year this year. I want to do a podcast once a week. I think it's really fun doing that. I love interacting with people. I love hitting talking points and just having different people on there and expressing their ideas and sharing their ideas. So for those of you that may be interested in being on that podcast with me, most of you have my Skype. If you don't, you can tweet me on Twitter and I'll give you my Skype. Last time I gave my Skype out publicly, without people having it, I got a whole bunch of weird random Skype calls from people I didn't know who the hell it was. But anyways, guys, and more than likely you probably know somebody that has my Skype. So if you're interested, friend or foe, I don't care. If you want to have a debate with me on a podcast, we can do that too. I'm okay with that. I'm not against doing that. I'm all about the lively conversation. So if that's something you are interested in, get a hold of me, because I'm going to do it every week, and I'm going to, maybe on that podcast, maybe we'll talk about other I hate calling it CAW, but other CAW shows, and one thing that I don't do, I don't pull any punches when it comes to the podcast. I don't try to save face, because my podcast is me getting to be me, and that is something that I enjoy. I enjoy being me, and I enjoy voicing my opinion in that sense. I'm not gonna try to say things to hurt people's feelings or upset anybody. But if it happens, it does happen, because a lot of people in the WWE games community, they are very overly sensitive. So if it offends you, I'm sorry. If not, great, cool, whatever. If you want to be on there and maybe try to go rounds with Die Hard verbally, let's do it. I'm not against doing that. So I guess that's kind of all I needed for the Livewire podcast announcement. Oh, speaking of, I better get that into the future, because this is the tie-in. This next subject is the tie-in for everything. So on to the future. Such a journey that we have been through thus far. It is now the future, okay? So how does the FFW return, the announcement of PWA, and the Livewire podcast, how does this all tie in together? Because I'm saying that this was some big tie-in. It's like this. FFW and PWA, since now I have shows on both consoles, are going to be under the TPP2K umbrella. So not only will they be uploaded to the PWA shows on the PWA channel, the FFW show on the FFW channel, but those shows will both be uploaded to the TPP2K channel, as well as the podcast. And speaking of the podcast, those in PWA are more than welcome to join the podcast. Mikasa, Sukasa, when it comes to that. So, yeah, that's the future, guys. And further touching on the future, I would really like to get some involvement from the community and from people that are on the shows, etc., etc., etc. For the simple fact that I really do love the interaction, and I've always been like I said earlier, I'm always very heavy-handed when it comes to the WWE game stuff. There's always been a time where I've had both consoles at some juncture, and I just didn't like the other console, so I sold it, which unfortunately in Sony's case it ended up being a PlayStation. However, I have my PS4 now, and I've got some more friends on it, so it makes it a little bit more, getting me to want to play it. I tend to find the servers a little bit better on the Xbox, but I find that creating wrestlers on the PlayStation is a little bit easier. So it's got its pros and it's got its cons. Both consoles have pros and cons. I'm not a fanboy of either one. Of course, naturally, I have more friends on the Xbox because I've been on Xbox for the past 6 or 8 years. It's been a while. But previous to the Xbox, I was on the PlayStation. So, and that was back on the PS2 and stuff. So, for the future, moving forward, I touched on this earlier, but I would like to make PWA as frequent as what FFW videos are going to be. I would like to make both shows extremely, very, very frequent. I would like to give you guys, the viewers, because at the end of the day, and I've said this before, but at the end of the day, I make the shows for myself, to entertain myself, and I'm so appreciative that other people watching, they're like, you know what, this is pretty good. I like it. I'm blown away by the fact that people actually watch my stuff. It's a super cool, humbling feeling, and it makes you always want to try to evolve and grow and do different things. And like with the FFW stuff that I've written out so far, I think that is some of the most, I don't want to say impactful, but it's some of the most heartfelt writing I've ever written. And I'm sorry, my voice has been dying for the past 2 weeks. But yeah, the FFW stuff is very impactful stuff, and the PWA stuff, it's just getting off the ground, guys. So it might take a little bit of finessing to really get those storylines brewing and going and deep-seated. But I think that the groundwork is there, and since I've been doing this as long as I have, I know what it will take to get somebody where I need them to be. So in that sense, I can foresee PWA lasting a long time. As long as everybody stays motivated, everything is fine. Same with FFW on the Xbox. As long as everybody stays motivated, everything works just fine. And as long as everybody keeps a clear head, and has the betterment of the show in their mind and not just the betterment of their specific character. I get it, everybody wants to be the main event. Me and Twisted had a conversation about this, but you design your character with the intent on making them the main event. That when you make your character, he's the main event. Every match you play in exhibition mode, it's the main event. That's why it shows the information bar at the bottom left-hand corner after the match is over, saying it's the end of the show, because it treats you like you're the main event. But not everybody can be the main event, so it's just kind of the way it is. But even, like I said, the future moving forward, I'm looking forward to doing the podcast. I'm looking forward to you guys seeing the FFW stuff. I'm looking forward to you guys seeing the PWA stuff. I'm looking forward in general to you guys just seeing all the stuff that we've been doing. I literally have so much space full of shows right now, just waiting to be shown to the world, and I hope you guys will stick around. I hope the same subscribers we have on this FFW channel go over and subscribe to the PWA channel. And at the time of this video, while you guys are seeing this, if you're watching this on the TPP2K channel, then you might already know what's up. If you're watching this on the PWA channel, you might already know what's up. But so just a quick touch on the bullet points here. FFW returns January 5th of 2016 with FFW Genesis. That following Wednesday will be the Livewire Podcast, and then Thursday will be FFW Strike Zone. Wash, rinse, and repeat. For PWA, the debut of PWA, you will know 11 days in advance. When you start seeing countdowns from number 10, when it gets to number 1, the next day, PWA debuts. And then the Livewire Podcast, of course. Everybody's welcome to be on it. Anybody, really, even if we're not friends, if we don't talk, if you want to be on there, if you got something to say to me or something to say to somebody else, you're more than welcome to come on there. Just get a hold of me, we'll make it happen at some juncture. And then, of course, into the future, I have a passion for the WWE, for wrestling in general. I was a high school wrestler as is. I almost got a college scholarship, but that's a different story for a different day. But yeah, so I have a passion for wrestling in general. So doing the shows, getting to be a booker and all that stuff, it's just an extension of something I've always wanted to do, and I get to have fun doing it, and I get to play video games. Who does not like playing video games? I mean, I don't necessarily get to play. It's a lot of working and editing, but for the most part, it works out pretty good. But all right, guys, thanks for sitting with me. If you've been through this entire video with me, very grateful. You didn't have to stick around this whole time, but you did. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to hopefully many more years of this. I'm not that old yet, so hopefully we can all have a good time and get some good laughs and some good kicks out of all this. But all right, guys, I am Die Hard, and I will see you guys on the flip side of it all. So keep it real, guys, and I will see you later.